All right, episode 2 of the Extraordinary podcast. Now, just quickly to clarify, the purpose of me doing these videos is for a couple of things. Number one is to help give you some more information, educational tools based on some of the information that I'm thinking about. But number two is to do exactly what I would expect from what you are going to get from this podcast, which is really about just getting comfortable and confident. And building competence in some of the tasks, which Sue set that up properly in the first place, in some of the tasks that we want to achieve. So for me, I want to be able to become a better educator for you guys, just to share some of my information and being able to sit in front of this camera. We did a lot of work with a previous opportunity for this before, but now we've got a really good chance just to keep doing it on a regular basis. So episode 2, Wednesday morning, it's in my schedule to do this at 7 a.m., 7:30. We've got a chest pump before this, to go through the blog posts that I have written each week and share my thoughts on those. So this week, episode number 2, we're going to run through what I wrote yesterday, which is how to achieve your goals, a step-by-step guide for athletes of all levels. This sort of came to me, the thought process behind this blog post was to really answer a question of how do I achieve my goals, even though maybe you are at different stages in your fitness journey. So generally, we're going to experience athletes that are, I think too much the fitness industry, we're always talking about how do we keep new people coming in the door. But one thing that I really like to focus on is how do we keep people constantly developing even when they've been through our doors in the first place. So you're going to hear me talk about sort of 3 different types of goals in this blog post, and they might resonate separately with you. If that doesn't resonate with you, I want you to take the goal that you're wanting to achieve and put that in place of these examples that I have put down for you. So starting the blog post, I've got, when it comes to getting better at anything, it's easy for the world to say, just do it. But this isn't always helpful. To truly improve, it's essential to have a clear, actionable plan. This article aims to provide the tangible steps required to help you get better at whatever goals you're pursuing, whether you're just starting your fitness journey or are already an experienced athlete with some more intense exercise or skill goals. Again, put yourself into the category. If you're listening to this because you're still trying to understand or develop an understanding of where you're going with your goals, hopefully this gives you a tangible plan on what to achieve. And if you've been doing this for a while and you've now got some really big goals lining up, like you do consistently already attend and it's not something you need to worry about, then how do we plant the seeds to know that you're advancing onto your next goal? So step number one is to set a goal. When achieving anything, you should start with setting a goal. As a Stoic philosopher Ep.2 said, without a destination, no wind is favorable. Without a clear goal, staying motivated can be challenging. Your goal can be as broad as losing 20 kilos, intangible number, insert whatever here, I just put a number. Doing a keeping pull-up, running 5 kilometers without stopping, or for the performance athletes, completing 20 strict handstand push-ups or lifting 100 kilos. Your goal might look big, hairy, and a bit audacious, but as Jim Collins suggests in his book, Good to Great, such goals help keep you in the game for the long haul. So what I want you to think about with step number 1 is set a goal that seems absolutely inspirational to you. It's big, it's hairy, it's ugly. It looks scary when you look at it as a big chunk. But basically, you might be, just as an example, 20 kilos overweight. And I think I'm a big pusher against the internet now, how people are a bit sensitive and they're saying, well, don't set such a big goal. You know what? Fuck that. Set a big goal, because we're going to discuss in this podcast or in this discussion, how do you then make that more tangible? If you want $1 million house, who says that you can't have $1 million house? If you want to drive around in a Maserati, who says you can't do that? Society says you shouldn't get yourself up into such a big, don't get yourself into that sort of, I don't know, what do they say? Don't set such big goals. You might set yourself up for failure. And yeah, you may fail at doing that and you might not get it, but it doesn't mean that you can't do all the steps and the processes to pursue it. You don't achieve the goal, who cares? But if you have the goal, at least you've now got some form of journey and destination. Keep watching though. Keep watching, because that's just the first step. Step number 2. Once you've set your goal, assess your current situation. Once you've set your goal, understand where you are in relation to it. Imagine you're in a boat in England trying to sail to Australia. You need to plan for the journey, considering all the logistics and challenges ahead. This step is crucial as it sets the foundation for your progress. So let's go back to that weight loss goal, and I'll just make it clear, I'm just saying 20 kilos because it just crossed my mind that it might be 5, it might be 2, it might be 3, it doesn't matter what the goal is. In fact, it never matters what the goal is. Let's go back to the $1 million house thing. You want $1 million house, but you have a part-time casual job and a uni student. That's the important part of assessing where you are, because if you can set where you are, it makes it very tangible to then know what your next goal should be. Maybe, and sometimes this happens, maybe you can achieve the goal that you want to set out to achieve. It's not even an obstacle. There's nothing in your way. You just haven't set the task correctly. Sorry, I'm a bit dry. You haven't set the task correctly, or even thought about it as hard as what you could. You just straight out haven't really thought about a goal. Now you've gone, actually, the goal I want to achieve is only one reach away, and you can achieve that and then set another goal. For most of us, though, if we've set this big, hairy, audacious goal, we need to then sit back, reevaluate where we are, and that leads us into step number 3. So we've got, here's our destination, and here's our starting point. Step number 3 is that you then need to set your first milestone and plan.